Hey, hi everyone. This is Sai from LetsUpgrade. So let's talk about how to get your certificate. It's very simple. You will see two links in the description. Number one is the place where you have to go and mark your attendance. Marking your attendance tells us like, okay, you are a legit student who have attended this particular session. Link number two is your assignment. This is where your 90% of the priority is. You have to go and submit the assignment that is given to you in this particular session. Once you're done submitting that assignment, we will be evaluating that. We will send you an email. If you get the passing criteria, then only we will give you the certificate on a particular date that is mentioned again in the description. Please check these three things, and this is the way how you will get a certificate from Let's Upgrade. Number one, mark your attendance. Number two, just go ahead and upload your assignment. Check for the email that you have received it, yes or no. What is the feedback that you have received from your trainer? Number three, check on which date the certificates will be released. Thank you. Bye. All the best. Happy learning.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this lecture of finding uniqueness with the distinct keyword in the SQL. I am Samiksha Mishra and I'm going to drive this video to help you understand from beginner to advanced level of mastering the SQL queries for the unique data. We are going to cover a lot of things to make you hands on and master this particular topic. I hope that you are excited about it and let's see how and where we can use this efficiently. So let's get started. Before getting started with the topic, let's see what are all the topics that we are going to cover to master the distinct keyword. First of all, we are going to understand about the distinct keyword, how and where to use. We are going to understand the syntax and its example. When I say example, we are going to see like multiple tables or where in the data we can use it, how we can write the query to execute it. We are going to do a hands on demo to make you understand better with various scenarios. We are going to see how we can use it with the aggregate functions, and with the distinct keyword, how is it different with the group by keyword. We are going to understand everything one by one. So just take a seat back, relax, get your laptop on, and just let's be started because we are going to practice it as well. After this particular topic, you will master the distinct keyword. That is our complete agenda. And once we are done covering all of these topics, we are going to have a quick recap so that we recall whatever we have learned so far. So let's get started with our very first topic. Now let's try to understand why do duplicate data exist first of all. So assume that you must be in your college or you might have attended in your school, right? So let's say we have some attributes related to a student. In a school, there could be like more than 500 students. Let's take a hypothetical example here. So if I say if I need to have a student with some details, we can have name of the student, we can have a roll number of the student, we can have father's name, we can have their phone number, and we can have their class or standard, whatever you say. Okay, these are the very basic attributes what a student would have. Now let's see. So for example, we have different roll numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I say the roll number 1 is Rahul and his father's name is Ram. His number is, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, and his standard is class 5. Then we have another Rahul, but his father's name is Ramesh and his number is 135. Let's say he is on class 6th. Then we have a girl called Sneha, a girl called Anjali, and one last guy called Priyanshu. Let's say Sneha has a father name of Ram and Anjali's father name is Ajay. Priyanshu's father name is, for example, Shankar. They might have all different phone numbers, so I would just simply randomly choose some random numbers, and let's say all of these are in class 6th. In this case, if you observe, though, we have only two students with the same name, but for the very obvious reason they are from the different classes, right? But if I say that from class 6 we have four different students with different names, but there could be a possibility, since we have so much population and so many person can have the same name, there could be a possibility in a hypothetical situation that another student joins whose roll number is 6, whose name is Rahul, and whose father's name is also Ramesh. There could be a possibility, right? So in this case, how are you going to distinct it? So such cases are known as duplicate datas. So if you see, these are same, but obviously they might have different phone numbers, and he's also from class 6. So when we are trying to gather a data, be it any medicine name or any restaurant menu, restaurant names, country, cities, name of a person, anything, just name it. So there could be a very high possibility that we could have duplicate data. Even when you try to access anything like Amazon or Flipkart, right? You might see the same product but with different prices. So for example, one has price of 550, one has price of 699, another has of price 299. All the products are same, but their prices vary. So eventually they are all duplicate data, but somewhere in their details they do vary. So now we are going to understand how and by what terms we can make it distinguished. So I hope you understand that why do we have duplicate data, and in a day to day life why the duplicate data exists. So with the continuation of this, we are going to see how we can use the advantage of the duplicate data. Let's see one more example here. So I have taken one student table. Let's try to see different scenarios when I try to apply distinct keyword in particular columns. So I'm going to use distinct roll number. So when I say distinct roll number, so what all roll number you think might be distinct? Pause the video, think about it, and then come about it. So yeah, so all the roll numbers will be included when I say distinct roll number, because all the roll numbers are unique. And when I say unique, so whenever I will try to execute the distinct keyword for the roll number, I will get all the roll numbers here. Is it clear? So let's try to see about the name as well. Distinct names. So when I say name, what do you think? How many distinct names we have? Pause the video and then give it a try. So if I see, I have Liam, then I have Emma, I have Noah, Olivia, James, Ava, Liam, we have already, Emma Williams is already there, and then Noah Smith is already there, James Miller is already there, Olivia Brown is already there, and Ava Davis is already there. So make sure in this case the name, first name and the last name was same. So we will have all of these. So here the last names will also be included. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 distinct names in this particular keyword. At the same time, we can see about the address, the phone number, and the age. The address could be same because there could be a possibility that one of these folks can be siblings, and the number also could be same. the same scenario, like could be siblings, right? If some people are twins and they are in the same class, so their address and phone number might be same. So we might have different uh, distinct or unique data here. But when it comes to age, what do you think? How many distinct age we have? Pause the video for a while and give it a try. So it is 23, 26, 22, 27, 24. That's it. So we have five different age groups here, right? So you can check for address and phone number. So you can try it yourself and see how many distinct phone numbers and address we have. I hope now this is much more clearer for your concept perspective. So once this is done, now we will go how we can actually code it up in our SQL queries. In the coming topics, we are going to discuss about it more. Now let's try to understand why do we need distinct keyword here, right? So if you see, there is a diagram here and I have made a customer. So customer have can one order ID. They can have the date of the order and they can also have a location. But there could be a possibility that a customer named Rahul from Delhi places an order on, for example, 25th December. But at the same time, another Rahul, who is also from Delhi, places an order on the same day, but there could be a third Rahul as well, who is from Mumbai and who also places an order on 25 of December. So if you observe here, the names are same, the city is same, the date is same. But when I come to a order ID, it might vary because as you know, order ID could be a primary key here. And when I say primary key, primary has to be always unique. If a primary key is not unique, then it is not a primary key anymore. So this is just the basic of the primary key. So on the basis of primary key, we can definitely use it distinguished that what all different data we have. But when I say that there is another girl called Anjali who places an order, and then we have one person Ram, then we have one person Sneha, we have Shweta as well. So when I say how many distinct people have placed the order, distinct names. When I say how many distinct names are there, so if you see these three are same, so these will be treated as one because it is same. So we have Rahul, we have Anjali, we have Ram, we have Sneha, and we have Shweta. And let's assume this is from Bangalore, this is from Chennai, and this is from Bangalore again, and this is from Chennai again. If I say what are the distinct cities, then what would be the answers? It could be Delhi, it could be Mumbai, it could be Bangalore, and Chennai. So if you observe, when I said about the name, we when I used the distinct keyword, we only used those names which are not repeating. So distinct keyword basically make the other copied or the duplicate data aside, irrespective it is a unique or primary key or not. Okay, so distinct cities, when I talk about distinct cities, so we had these two as same, these two as same, these two as same, and this as different. So we were able to get four different cities. So in the same way, we can do it with the date. And for example, if I do it with the order ID, so I would get the number of order IDs in distinct whatever. So for example, I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I will try to print the distinct order ID, I will get all of these printed because all are unique and none of these are duplicates. So that's how we use the distinct keyword and how we can use it. But for example, a product can have a product ID as well. It can have an inventory ID as well. A product can be kept in a particular inventory. So, inventory might also vary from place to place. And we could have other information. So, for example, manufacturing date, okay, expiry date, or if we have some outlet information, or any other information associated to any type of data, we can extract it using the distinct keyword to identify how many unique things are there in that particular column. So I hope this is clear. Let's see an example with the help of some more examples when we are trying to do the hands on. It will make you understand better. But on the theory part, I hope this was helpful you to understand the basics and the fundamental. Now, since we have understood the concept of the distinct keyword in the tables and the data, now let's try to see how we can actually write it out in our SQL queries. So this is our syntax. So whenever we are trying to use the distinct keyword, we need to use a select will do the selection, that what all things needs to be selected. Then we have the distinct keyword. It will help us to get the unique data, the column name, whatever column we are trying to target. So, for example, in the previous example, we saw the name, roll number, address, phone number, age, right? So, similar way, you can specify the column. We use the from table name. So, this is the very standard format. We are supposed to write from which table we need to fetch the data, from which table. So, this is the syntax. It is very straightforward. We just need to put the distinct keyword in front of our column name. We will see how we can also use it in complex queries. Now, here is an example of one customer table. So, we have assumed, so there is a table called customer, and let's assume we have different attributes called customer ID, name, phone number, email ID, country, city, etc. So, this example is trying to fetch distinct country from the customer. So, whatever column will be country name, it will go to there and it will try to get the unique countries from that country column. So, this is how we actually write select distinct country from customers. It is same as the syntax. And we are going to see more complex and more hands on examples while practicing it. So, I hope the syntax and example is clear. Now we will move ahead. But before jumping into the actual hands on, let's try to understand what is happening behind the scenes. How do distinct removes the duplicate? So, to understand it better, so there are a couple of phases. So, first phase is scanning phase. So, whenever I say select a particular column, right? Select distinct particular column. So that selection is doing our scanning. Once that is done, then we are computing a hash key. Why do we need a hash key here? Hash key is being computed. So I assume when you were trying to read about data structures and algorithms, so there you might have used two data structures called hash set, or set is also it is being called, or unordered set or ordered set, and there is another called hash map, right? Map, unordered map. The same hash key, whatever is being used in this hash set or hash map, it is being computed behind the scenes for our query as well. So whenever we try to do it, either does the hashing or sorting. So sorting, when I say sorting, so it is to rearrange the data in ascending or descending order. But when I say hashing, it generates a hash code, and then that hash code is very unique in nature. So if you know how the hash set or hash map is driven in the back of the background, then you can definitely understand how hashing helps. And once the hash code is generated, since the hash code is always unique, then we will get the unique data and then we will get the output result. So that's how it is happening in the background. And since this is taking like so much process in the background, so it is a little time consuming as well. So if we have very long data set, so for example if we have 3 million data, so you can totally imagine like how complex this query would be. So it is not efficient for the very large data set, but you can definitely use it for easing out your day to day queries. So it is not very efficient. Now I hope it is clear that how do distinct removes the duplicate in the background of queries. Now since you have the basic fundamental understanding and you are aware what is happening in the background, let's see what will come next and how we can execute it in the upcoming things. Okay, now since we have already done so many brush up on our fundamentals and basic, let's try to execute some basic queries of the distinct keyword. So I would like to request you to do with me in parallel so that you are also able to understand it. So let's try to create a table first. So I'm going to create a table named customers. Okay, and I will add some attributes associated to it. I will add one customer ID of type int, and I will make it as a primary key. I will add customer name of type varchar of characters 50. I will add country of type again varchar, and lastly I will add one city again of type varchar 50. Let's try to create the table first and then we will try to add some queries and see what it will execute. So let's try to run this. Okay, so a customer table has been created. Now let's try to insert some values to it. So currently it is a blank table, obviously. So I will try to add some values to it. I already have some values handy, so I will just simply use those. So if you see, we have added 10 rows to it, and I have mentioned that these are the duplicate country and duplicate city. So let's try to run this query now. Okay, so that query has been already ran, and let's try to see what it shows. So let's try to execute select all from customers table, and we'll try to execute it. Whoa, okay. So we get our table ready. So let's try to play around a bit. Okay. So we'll go one by one with customer ID and then customer name and then country and then city. Now, first let's try to execute select distinct. Okay. And then we will have customer ID. Customer ID. Customer ID from customers. Let's try to execute this and see what we get. So ideally, what do you think? What would we get? That's right. We will get all the customer ID since these are unique. So when we try to execute it, we will get all the customer ID. Okay. In the similar way, let's do select distinct customer name from customers. But before this, let me run this so that we get to see what are the customer names we have. So pause the video, see what all customer name we will get using distinct keyword. Okay, now let me run this. So if you see, we have all the names, whatever as distinct, we got it as our final output. And let's execute this again so that we are able to see. So we will see for the countries. Distinct country from our customers table. So pause the video again and see what all output you think might be the final one, and I will try to execute it. So if you see, we have total 4 distinct countries here, which is USA, India, Canada, and UK. And for the last one, let's try for the city as well. Select distinct city from customers. And let's try to run it. So look, we have all the cities which are unique in this particular table. So well done. We have done the basic queries so far. I hope this was helpful. So we can try to create more tables, we can try to insert more rows to it, more details, try to make it more duplicate, try to play around and then see what all output you get. Okay, so now let's try to understand how the distinct on multiple columns would work. So we have so far seen how it works on a single column, right? And so in this case, if I will try to add two columns together, how my output would look like. For example, same example, if we take customer, you saw, right? We have name, city, country, and let's say customer ID, right? So for example, I have New York as a city and country as USA. I have California as a city and USA. I have Delhi as a city and India. And then again Delhi, India, Mumbai, India. So in this case, if I am supposed to write select distinct, now I will use multiple columns, right? So I will use city and country from my customer table, customers. So what do you think this query will execute? Pause the video, think about it, and then resume it again. So in such case, it will choose all the permutation and combination for our columns, and all such combination will be treated as unique. So for example, my output would be NY USA, California USA, Delhi India, and Mumbai India. In the similar way, let's see to try executing in our SQL Lite dashboard as well. So here we come again to it, and let's try to execute first my this query. So these are my cities, and let's try to execute. Let me shorten this a bit. Yeah, so that we are able to see it. So what I will do is select distinct city country from customers. Let's try to execute and see. So if you see all the permutation combination it has given me. But at the same time, if I only execute for the city or the country, I will get only 4 countries. But when I added my city here, sorry, I will add my city and country, then it will give me, let me select it, then it will give me all the permutation combination of such city and country. In the similar way, if I say I want to fetch the customer name and city, so just pause the video and see what it happens. So we get all the customers name and city with unique combination here. So that is how it will work on the multiple columns, and you can play around it a bit and see what all columns it will take. Now moving on, let's see how does combining distinct with aggregate functions would look like. So when I say aggregate functions, so in simple words, I say count, sum, max, min. So these are our aggregate functions. But when it comes to distinct, the most common aggregate function is count and sum. Okay. So here we are going to see with the help of count. So if I say select count star from customer, so what do you think it would print? So definitely it would print how many rows we have. So number of rows. But at the same time, if I say select distinct name and from customers as discussed previously, so I will get all distinct names. But at the same time, if I will make this distinct as count distinct name, then it will give me count of unique names, right? So it is as simple as that, that it is going to use the same aggregate function whatever we are going to give the input to our query, and we are going to get a accumulated output with respect to our query. So with continuation of this, let's see and play around with our queries as well. Okay, so here we are. So let's try to see the difference first. I will run this query. I'm getting this. I will put a count in front of it and distinct column ID. So if you see, we are getting our 10 number of unique customer ID. At the same time, let's see our country name. So if you remember, we had 4 countries, right? So as per our query, it should give us count of 4. So let's try to execute this query, and you can see count of 4. In the similar way, let's see count of distinct customer name and city. So we were trying to get this. So let's make it city and country maybe to make it look better. So let's first try to execute this query. So these are the permutation combination, but what would be the count of these? Count, and I will select it and then I will run it. Okay, some compilation error is there. So unexpected. So if you see here, when I tried to put multiple columns in distinct for our count functionality, I got an error. But at the same time, if I remove my city and then I try to execute it, I got it. So in short, count aggregate function does not allow you to have multiple columns. So you should avoid. Now let's try to understand how is distinct different from group by keyword. So far we have understood distinct will give us unique data of the column, unique data. And group by, what group would do together, it will combine them all and then it will give you the output. So group by helps you to basically wrap into a single common unit. So when I said select distinct city from my table, for example, so I got all unique cities. But at the same time, if I say select city from table group by city, then you would say that this city would also give me some unique data. And since we are grouping it, this will also give me a unique data. That is true. But we are trying to fetching here the unique records, and here it is trying to combine them all together. Okay. So that is the major difference between the distinct and group by. Now let's try to see how does it look like in the query if I use both group by and distinct in the same query. So let's try to run this, and I will make it as from customers group by city. Okay, so it will give me unique customers grouping with respect to the city. So let me try to run it, and I got unique customers. Let me see what all cities also we get. So we will get the unique customers with respect to the grouping of my cities. Okay, similar way, let's try to use distinct count distinct country. Let's see if that works here or not. Group by city. So, and I will make the count. So if you see, with respect to each city, I am getting count of distinct countries. So that's how we can use the combination of distinct and group by together. So you can definitely play it with that, and you can try to add couple of more duplicate entries, and to get a better understanding, the more you play with it, the more you will get the clarity about it. Now, since we have covered everything so far, let's go through some hands on and see where do we actually have the knowledge and are we clear on the practical queries or not. So, we are going to run through all the points which I have mentioned, and if you're able to do all of this, then congratulations, you have actually mastered the distinct keyword. So, we'll go one by one. But before that, let me go here. Let me remove all these queries. Okay, so we already have the customer table. So we will add one more table called orders. So I will create table called orders. I will add one order ID, which would be of type int as well as my primary key. I will have one customer ID of type int, and then I will have one product name, maybe varchar, I would say 50, and then I will have amount, again I would say int, and then lastly we are going to create a relation between my customer and order table. So I will make foreign key customer ID references, my table name customers, and my column ID customer ID. And yeah, so let's run this query. Okay, customer ID syntax. Okay, this is supposed to be ID. Customer's ID. Okay, this is supposed to be my customer ID. Yeah, so I will run it. So I'm still getting the error. So you have a customer ID syntax error. So looks like my ID is different. Let me try now. Near customer ID, what does that say? It says customer ID should be capital. Okay, so there was some issue with my customer ID. So I just created one orders table, and I will insert my values which I have already handed. So I will insert some values to my order table. Okay, so now if you see, I have one customer table and one order table here. So if I try to print select star from my customers, so I will get all the details of my customer. And if I do select star from orders, then I will get, sorry, just this one. I will get all my orders, whatever I have fetched. So now let's see what does our exercise say. So basic select without distinct. So we did just now, right? So that is done. Basic select is done. Now we need to select distinct for unique countries. So countries we have in customer. So we will do select distinct country from customers table. Let's see. Okay, we got the unique one. This is also done. Then we need to do distinct on multiple columns. That also we have done. Let's see if we remember or not. So we will do distinct, select, distinct, country, city from customers. So looks like it has reached the limit, but okay, let's try this combination. Okay, so we are getting distinct country and city. So we are getting all our combination. So we have done this as well. Count total rows versus unique countries. So let's see how we can. So let's try to copy this statement. Count total rows versus unique countries. Okay, let's try this. Count total rows. So we will do select count count total rows of the countries. So that would be my country. I would say as total country. And I will do count, sorry, I will do as count my distinct country as unique country, or let me just change unique unique country, and I would say from customers. So if you see, we get the total country versus my unique countries. So that's how we can use our total count versus my unique count. Okay, this one is also done. Then we need to use distinct inside an aggregate function. So how we can use that? We just did count. So let's do select count distinct city from customers. And let's see. So we got distinct city 7. So this one is also done. Then we did use compare distinct versus group by. We did use group by to count customers per country. So how can we do that? So I will do select country, comma, count star. Let's see what we need there. Use group by to count customers per country. Group by to count customers per country. So we did country, and we will use as number of customers from my customers. Okay, first I will use my group by query. Group by country, and I will execute it. Sorry, group by comes to the end. Customers, group by, and my country. Yeah, so number of customers we have grouped by with respect to our country. So that's how we can do this. Okay. So distinct with another table orders, find how many customers placed unique orders and unique combination of customer and product. So I would want you to have this as your homework and try it on your own. try it out from yourself and see if you are able to achieve it. And this is a challenging one because we need to have a relationship between both of the tables. So let's see how we can do this. Unique combination. So we need select distinct customer ID, and we would use product from orders. So honestly, this was not very tough. It just want you to have all the permutation and combination of our customer ID and the product. So you see, so we were able to do all of these all together. So this one is also good. So this also helped us to have a recap. So if you remember, we all discussed this throughout the lecture. So if you are able to do all of these in a one go, then congratulations, you have already mastered your distinct keyword. If not, feel free to go back, watch a couple of more times. You will get comfortable with it. So I hope you like the video, and you must do attempt the homework, and you must follow whatever we have tried to do so far. Go on Google, search for more questions related to the distinct keyword. Try to play around, try to make your own table, create your own rows and columns to it, and just keep playing around to make you understand better. So that is all for today. Thank you for watching this video, and good luck for your next one. Bye.